My name is Mary Ann Jones. I am Bill Jones's daughter. Decie Jones is my stepmother for a long, long time, and all through the whole dinosaur period. So I was a young married woman during most of the dig, and so I had my attentions were elsewhere most of the time. But I have a lot of memories about the wonderful people who came down. Dr. Langston and Jeff Pittman living in his trailer on the place. One thing about all the people throughout the entire time they came down there, all the diggers, the teachers, everybody, was they were so respectful of the property, of my parents, of the honor of getting to come down there and do this. It's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deal for a lot of people. And so it just made it so easy for Dad and Decie to host. And plus at the campouts, I'll just talk about that again a little bit. At the campouts, Dad and Decie were always there for a free hamburger cooked on the grill, special burgers by the Burgermeister, and maybe a beer. But one thing about my daddy is that there was never anything he couldn't make or build or learn about. He had subscriptions to I don't know how many magazines. I mean, lots and lots of magazines, Popular Science, Popular Mechanics, American Rifleman. If he didn't know about it and he was interested, he was going to learn about it. And this is from a guy who dropped out of high school and worked as an airline mechanic and became an airline captain. So my dad is a very remarkable man. But getting to see all the people come down there and explain to Daddy and Decie to much of an extent, but explain how everything worked. And he got to learn about paleontology, and he was pretty good with big words for an uneducated man. It was just sort of like a backyard party in your own place. He was fascinated with everything to do with the whole dino dig and all of these people that were well educated and were able to explain this whole new science to him. And to him having the opportunity to be able to give that to science, to give that to the public. It was one of the highest points in his life, for sure. Yeah. Yes, we did to some extent, but mostly it was just over there, and we'd talk to the people when they I think usually when they'd get there, they'd come up to the house and in the house and announce their presence. We're going to be here for so and so many days. And one quick story before I forget it so there was a bunch of school children that came down. Somebody brought these school kids down. And so the creek is this amazing, wonderful place for kids. It's creek, it's rocks, it's everything. And Daddy said, okay, y'all, anything you can find, you can have. Well, danged if one of those kids didn't find a mammoth tooth. Only mammoth tooth we've ever found there. So of course, the kid gets to take it home. Dad's going, I don't know. It was just that was just kind of daily life. It got to a point during the busiest part where I don't think they were allowed to come in opening deer season. That may have been the only time that it would have been inconvenient for them to come. But just interesting people that we got to meet, getting to meet Dr. Jacobs. And I went to college at age 30. And so that was in 1990. So all of the dino-ness was really going on then. So I got to meet Dr. Jacobs, and he helped me get acclimated at SMU. So everything just kind of blended together there. And another thing about all the people, Dr. Jacobs, all of them, very down-to-earth people. Nobody was dressed up fancy. You were going to be digging in the dirt, and that's fun. Yeah. That is fun for everybody. Cultural anthropology with a focus on linguistics and international science, international political science, excuse me. Accounting. I went to school and studied my interest, and I had been working at a consulting firm for many years and was around a lot of people with education. They were all very well educated, and I'm about an 8th grade school dropout myself, but Daddy made me get a GED. Then I wasn't ready for school until I was about 30. But it wasn't hard for me to understand that I really wasn't up to talk. I couldn't talk about anything. I didn't know anything about government I didn't know about anything. So I finally got interested in going to school. So I went and took a class, and it went on from there. And he wanted me to study paleontology. And I said, Daddy, no, that's not going to be my main focus. He really wanted me to be a lawyer. No. I think we've probably taken it horribly for granted. It was something that happened, and certainly no decisions were to be made from our point of view, from our part. And we were all, growing up at that time and had so many other things going on in our lives. And now, I've had jobs where I realized that it never comes up in conversation. If I want somebody to know about the dinosaur, I have to tell them. And they're usually just bowled over. You're kidding. Texas state dinosaur found on your family's property. And but if I don't bring it up, it doesn't really impact me. I didn't know that because I'm not really haven't stayed in those circles. So that's very kind to know, and I'm so happy to get to know that all of this is benefiting people, and I'm mighty proud that it's out there in the lobby for the kids to come and go, wow. And even this morning, I said, I can't believe that guy's head is about this big, and his whole body takes up the whole room. That's scary. I mean, that's scary to think that little bitty brain is controlling the whole body. Love to learn stuff. Great storyteller. And with all these crazy stories, airline stories, especially, I never caught him fabricating. So he was just really good at being able to take a story and relate it. That's a gift. His also, as far as the teacher thing, his aunt was a teacher all her life and straight. He used to like to talk about his teachers, strict disciplinarian. Along with perhaps the Rock Church project, this was a crowning glory in his life. It was a big deal. I think everybody would like to be able to go on in perpetuity, be remembered, and I think that meant a lot to him to get to know that there was going to be something that would outlast him, that would go on, and this gift he was able to give. But it was selfish as well because he loved to learn, and he just he got to learn so much. He was quite the authority on paleontology. He was good. He was a good student, and he, I believe, at age 70, he got his high school diploma from Stephenville High School. Yeah, he's a cool guy.